Největší Čech is the Czech spin-off of the BBC Greatest Britons show, a television poll of the populace to name the greatest Czech in history. The series was broadcast by the national public service broadcaster, Česká televize. The moderator of the program was Marek Eben, who was also nominated to be in the top 100. However, since he was moderating the show, he was not eligible to be included in the final list. The counting and ranking of the nomination votes took place during January 2005. The top 100 were announced on the 5th of May, and the final rankings were announced on the 10th of June 2005. The first round was won by the fictional genius Yara Saman, but he was disqualified. List of Greatest Czechs. King Charles IV, Bohemian King and Emperor, founder of Charles Bridge and Charles University, 68,713 votes. Tomáš Garrigue Masaryk, first Czechoslovak president, 55,040 votes. Václav Havel, last Czechoslovak and first Czech president. Jan Amos Komenský, 17th century, teacher of nations. Jan Žižka, 14th, 15th century Hussite general, leader of Czech resistance to the Roman Empire and Catholic Church. Jan Werich, 20th century actor, playwright and author. Jan Hus, 14th, 15th century religious reformer. Antonín Dvořák, 19th century composer. Karel Čapek, 20th century writer. In his work R.U.R. has popularized the word robot. Božena Němcová, 19th century female writer. Bedřich Smetana, 19th century composer. Emil Zatopek, 20th century Olympic athlete. Karel Gott, 20th century pop singer. George of Poděbrady, 15th century Utrecht king. František Palacký, 19th century historian and politician. Přemysl Otakar II, 13th century king, known as Iron and Gold King. St. Wenceslas, Duke and patron saint of Bohemia. Václav Klaus, second president of the Czech Republic. Jaroslav Hejrovský, 20th century chemist, Nobel Prize laureate. Saint Agnes of Bohemia, 13th century princess and saint, founder of First Prague Hospital. Thomas Bata, 19th, 20th century First Republic businessman. Edward Beans, second Czechoslovak president. Otto Wichterli, 20th century chemist, inventor of contact lenses. Jaroslav Seifert, 20th century poet, Nobel Prize laureate. Zdeněk Svěřík, 20th century playwright, screenwriter, actor and semenologist. Emma Destinova, 19th, 20th century opera singer. Jaromír Jágr, 20th, 21st century hockey player. Maria Theresa, 18th century queen. Karel Kryl, 20th century dissident singer-songwriter. Milos Forman, 20th, 21st century film director. Vlasta Berian, 20th century actor, king of comedians. Roman Sebrald, 20th, 21st century decathlete, Olympic athlete. Ivan Linka, 20th century hockey player and coach. Karel Havlicek Borovsky, 19th century journalist and writer. Daniel Landa, 20th, 21st century singer. Milada Horokova, 20th century victim of Nazism and later communism. Vladimir Menšik, 20th century actor. Jaroslav Hasek, 19th, 20th century writer. Alphonse Mucha, 19th, 20th century Art Nouveau painter. Jan Evangelista Perkine, 19th century biologist and physician. Pavel Nedved, football player. Jan Jansky, 19th, 20th century neurologist and psychiatrist, discoverer of 4 blood types. František Křižík, 19th, 20th century inventor, engineer and industrialist. Jan Železný, 20th, 21st century Olympic athlete. Jan Palach, protester against Soviet invasion of 1968. Vera Kaslavska, 20th century Olympic athlete. Leos Janáček, 19th, 20th century composer. Alois Jurasek, 19th, 20th century playwright and author. Jaromír Nohavica, 20th, 21st century musician. Jan Masaryk, Czechoslovak Secretary of Foreign Affairs. Bohumil Hrabal, 20th century writer. Jan Neruda, 19th century writer. Joseph Jungmann, 18th, 19th century linguist and translator. Gregor Mendel, 19th century geneticist, father of genetics. Franz Kafka, 19th, 20th century writer. František Tomášek, 20th century, Archbishop of Prague. Saint Adalbert, 10th century saint. Joseph Bykan, 20th century football player. Joseph Kajetin Tyl, 19th century playwright. Lucy Bielad, 20th, 21st century pop singer. Karol Hynek-Mácha, 19th century poet. Ludmila, 9th-10th century grandmother of the Czech patron Street. Wenceslas Boleslav Polyuka, 20th, 21st century actor. Rudolph II, Holy Roman Emperor, 16th, 17th century king. Joseph Bobrovsky, 18th, 19th century philologist. Joseph Lada, 20th century painter. Rudolf Husinski, 20th century actor. Wenceslaus II of Bohemia, 13th, 14th century king. Madeleine Albright, 20th century politician, U.S. Secretary of State. Annetta Langerova, 21st century pop singer, winner of the pop star competition. Przemysl Otaka, the first 12th, 13th century king, conqueror. Ludwig Svoboda, 20th century communist president. Dominik Hasek, 20th, 21st century hockey player. John of Luxembourg, 14th century king, father of Charles IV. Milan Baroš, 21st century football player. Karol Jaromír Urban, 19th century poet. St. Zadislava, 13th century saint. Jaroslav Fogler, 20th century writer. Ladislav Smoljak, 20th century actor, actor and semenologist. Olga Havlova, 20th century wife of Václav Havel, former Czechoslovak and Czech president. Martina Navratilova, 20th, 21st century tennis player. Helena Urzakova, 20th century actress. Pavel Tigrad, 20th century writer. Elizabeth of Bohemia, Queen. Milan Kundera, 20th, 21st century writer. Vladimir Remek, 20th, 21st century cosmonaut and politician. Boleslav I of Bohemia, 10th century king. Magdalena Dobromila Retigava, 19th century writer. Mikla Zales, 19th, 20th century painter. Emil Holub, 19th century physician, traveler and writer. František Fajtl, 20th century aircraft pilot in World War II. Klement Gottwald, first communist president of Czechoslovakia. Zdeněk Mačejček, 20th century pediatrist. Jiří Voskovec, 20th century actor. Marta Kubasova, 20th, 21st century singer and actress. Jirina Bodalova, 20th, 21st century actress. Miloslav Sumek, 20th, 21st century actor. Sigmund Freud, 19th, 20th century psychiatrist, teacher of Carl Gustav Jung. Samo, 7th century ruler of the so-called Samos realm. Miloš Zeman, Czech politician. The greatest villain. At the same time as the nominations, an internet vote for the greatest villain of Czech history was held. The top 10 were: Klement Gottwald, first communist president of Czechoslovakia. Stanislav Gross, 20th, 21st century politician, Czech Republic PM. Václav Klaus, 20th, 21st century politician, President of Czech Republic. Vladimir Zelezny, 20th, 21st century television businessman, founder of TV Nova, charged with an extensive tunneling fraud. Miroslav Kalousk, 20th, 21st century politician, leader of Christian Democratic Party. Party. Miroslav Grebnicek, leader of Communist Party of Moravia and Bohemia. Viktor Kozany, 20th, 21st century financial figure, fugitive financier, nicknamed the Pirate of Prague. Miloš Jakes, 20th century politician, General Secretary of Czechoslovak Communist Party before and during Velvet Revolution. Zdeněk Skramach, former Minister of Work and Social Affairs. Gustav Husák, 20th century politician, last communist president of Czechoslovakia. Yara Saman. The first round of official voting for Greatest Czech was won by the fictional character Yara Saman, created by Czech humorist Jiří Sabana. Zdeněk Svěřík and Ladislav Smoljak. The fact that he isn't a real person disqualified him from taking the title, as the rules stated that it is only possible to vote for someone who was either born on, lived on, or in any way acted on the soil of Bohemia, Moravia, Czech Silesia,